Greetings and salutations. It's your boy D.Boom, and I am back for tonight's final message for real. Still got about 2 more hours here at the gig. It's down there 7:30 my time. Been working since 9 this morning, son. Two of wands. Any rate, head, shoulders, knees, and toes rant, and then we will begin. I'm gonna show you the spread. This is twin flames and separation. And twin flame separation readings are just used for you to see exactly what energies are between you and your masculine. These are collective readings, but if you want to book a personal reading, I'll be doing weekend specials. I probably won't get home till about 10:30. So about 11:11 tomorrow, I'll take any bookings for people that want to get some reduced readings. Twin flame personal readings for 30. I'm doing live coaching for 60. Readings are usually like $50. Live coaching is usually like 100. I do other services, but I'm not doing deals on those right now. So, head, that's swords. Thoughts, mentality, ideology, decisions you make in the direction you going. Everything starts in the mind. Then we got cups. Cups are feelings and emotions. All feelings and emotions are just indicators on where you're going mentally. Your heart and mind must be aligned with everything that you do. Who rules the heart and mind department? The divine feminine. You can tell. Then you got wands. Wands are things you're doing or things you've done, not things you finna do because you ain't did it. What you've done in the past, there's accountability for it. It's karma to it. What you presently doing, there's accountability in it. It's karma to it. What you finna do has no accountability. What you're going to do has no karma. At least not yet. And then you got pentacles, which are persons, places, and things. Stuff you can taste, touch, see, feel, and hear, which are five senses. All pentacles are manifestations. All pentacles expire. All pentacles are temporary. And all pentacles have expiration dates. So, let's get this twin flame separation spread out. And we will begin. Yeah, I ain't cold at, dealing and shuffling like most y'all, you know what I mean? These actual playing cards, I ain't really never had skills with them. So, feminine role, we got the Ace of Wands, awareness. We got that Knight of Cups, that Romeo Juliet card. This is in the beginning. This is the feminine role. This is the masculine role where we got the Queen of Pentacles. That's the boss card. King of Pentacles is the CEO in my deck. Future role, we got the Nine of Swords. It's a stress. Masculine role, he's got the Eight of Wands again. I'm glad this popped out twice. Six of Wands. I'm glad this popped out twice. This was for the feminine, but it's for the masculine now. This Knight of Cups was for the feminine, but it was for the masculine, but it's for the feminine now. So we get to see both sides of the coin. That also shows that the masculine and feminine energies are reflecting each other. Masculine's got that King of Pentacles in the same place he had it before, which is going to be very interesting. And we got fear, which the feminine had. Now the masculine has. Overall energy, which is fairly important. We got the Three of Wands. Feminine had this in her reading. This is in the separation reading now. Bottom line energy, we have the Seven of Swords, the Truth card. This is very important. Definitely picking out clarifiers because we got some of the same energies from both readings here in the separation. I'm only using one deck, so and I shuffled the crap out of these. All right. Oh, who rules the heart mind department? Divine feminine. Who rules the wands and the pentacles department? Divine Masculine. Reading starts in 5 minutes. First card in this message, we got the Three of Wands. This is the Divine Feminine's role. First of all, people ask me all the time, how do I get into Twin Flame Union, Reunion, and Recognition? Which is the Four of Wands in my deck. Feminines, get on path and purpose. Two of Wands is making ends meet. That's your 9 to 5. This is how you survive. We got to do more than that. Two of Wands is helping yourself and your family. Got to help others. Three of Wands is also evolution. As human beings, we have to evolve. Like Pokemons or Digimons. We got to take things to the next level. That's what this represents. When you create a Three of Wands, when you evolve, when you elevate, it's like the equivalent of driving on a highway. Two of Wands is taking the streets. Three of Wands is taking the highway. You can get from point A to point C very rapidly. This is you, where you at right now. This destination to be union, reunion, and recognition. By having a third wand, it's just going to get you expressway to your union. This is where you are. This is where you want to be. Three of Wands, it's a highway. Take you where you need to go. This goes for both masculines and feminine. And masculine, just because it's divine feminine's role doesn't mean that you can't elevate or find purpose or find path or elevate yourself either. This is what you're supposed to be doing. Two of Wands is your role, though. I mean, even if you just supporting your divine feminine, like you're not elevating with her, but if you just support what she does, that's cool. You stand live long enough to see the great things that's gonna happen in your feminine life, or you being alive to see the great things happen in your own life. That's evolution too. That's just fairly important. Let's put some more smoke on this. This deals with both masculine and feminine. Clarifying the Three of Wands, we got the Ten of Wands. See a lot of the same energies from both readings here. I shuffled the crap out these cards. Ten of Wands is temporary endings. It's ending something that you're passionate about. Probably having fun not being on this elevated path. You're probably having fun not two of wanding your divine feminine's Three of Wands, but guess what? That's something you're going to have to stop doing. Whether that's by choice or by force. 10 of Wands plus 3 of Wands, what's that? 13 Wands, what's the 13th Wand? That's the King of Wands. Who's the King of Wands? You, divine masculine. In your elevated form. In your divine form. In your true and rare form. Which you came out with in the bottom line of your own situation this week. Bottom line, which is very important, you got truth. This deals with both masculine and feminine. Truth will set you free. Seven of Swords is truth. Truth is something you register. Truth is darkness coming to the light. A secret being revealed. Cat coming out the bag. Somebody keeping 100 with you. You keeping 100 with somebody else. Or you just keeping 100 with your damn self. Or your damn situation. The truth illuminates everything that you need to know. Truth gives you awareness when there is mystery or mystique. Seven of Swords is also wearing 7 hats. You wear so many hats you forgot what your first hat was. You work at 7 different jobs and showing up to one job with this uniform on. Because you don't know which job you got to go to or where to start. Seven of Swords could be, like I said, just being so many people to so many people. Like you this way with your family, but another way at work, but another way with your friends, but another way in your relationship. You're wearing too many hats. You ain't gonna know who's who. Or start doing different roles in different situations. That goes for masculine and feminine. Seven of Swords could also be you spreading yourself so thin, you ain't got enough you for you. What's the main reason the Seven of Swords is Queen of Cups? This is the psychic card. What's the psychic card? What's the psychic in general? It's a person that trusts in their own intuition and they tend to hit shit on the head. Damn, Boom, was you a psychic or something? How you knew that was gonna happen? Nah, just trusting my intuition on that one. Just happened to be accurate. Queen of Swords is like an X-Men, which a divine feminine and a divine masculine is. That's what makes you guys divines. Divines are like X-Men, and what's an X-Men? They have powers, gifts, abilities, much more than the average human or person, right? Don't know X-Men got the same power. If I was X-Men, I'd be more like Gambit. You know what I'm saying? I'm deadly with cards. I'm nice without them, but I'm deadly with them. My masculine, I'm a divine feminine. My divine masculine, he's more like Wolverine. He's a survivor, for real. He can regenerate health and cells and memory and molecules, in my personal opinion. My masculine was crippled at one point due to a traumatic experience that happened to him. You know what I mean? He had a tumor in his brain. He did surgery on it. Post surgery, he was, like I said, couldn't move. He had to relearn how to walk, relearn how to maneuver. He was kind of like Beatrice Kiddo after she got shot in the head and Kill Bill. You know how she was in the pussy wagon, like wiggling her big toe, just to get back into the groove of moving around. You see my divine masculine now. You wouldn't think nothing happened to him. You would think he's just like any other person. My twin's like Wolverine for real. Like the way he could survive shit. He survived things I would never live through. He survived eras I could have never survived through. And he survived trauma that I'm not built for. You and your masculine, divine masculine, divine feminine, y'all both have special abilities. It'd be best if you two brought your path and purposes together, or evolved at the same time, or got activated through twin flame union, reunion, and recognition. But you and your masculine together, feminine, is like a two-headed dragon. When you support your feminine, masculine, do your role, it's basically two of wands. Your divine feminine is three of wands. Y'all become a two-headed dragon. Y'all deadly by yourselves, but with each other, y'all unstoppable force. And that's the truth. Flip side to the Queen of Cups is signs and synchronicities, writings on the wall, and dreams, or ghosting. Ghosting is leaving somebody hanging. Ghosting is you supposed to be somewhere, but you're somewhere else. Ghost. It's like you make plans to do something, but you don't let whoever know you making plans with that you got other plans. So while you're supposed to be doing this, you're doing this. You're a ghost over here. It's like a person so and so show up to work. Nah, they got ghost. We call that getting out. And the final Queen of Cups energy is more so, let's see, X-Men card, writings on the wall, trusting your own intuition, ghosting. So that's pretty much it. Truth is, you two are way too powerful to be doing what Karmics is doing out here. It's just be existent without being of service to the kingdom or to the world. It's karma to being a divine and not being on your divine business. Masculine, it's karma to not tool wanding supporting the divine feminine's third one. Feminine, it's karma to doing this by yourself. It's like a group project. Can't just do it by yourself and put everybody's name on there. You ain't gonna get an A. You can have A work, but you're still gonna get a C or maybe a D or maybe fail for not including your classmates in the project. Kicking this thing off, feminine. You got awareness. Masculine had it. You got it now. Awareness, Ace of Wands, is the Nebuchadnezzar from the Matrix. This is being awake. So it's a lot of feminines out here that's woke. right? That means you can't go back to sleep. You outside the matrix. You in the real world. Four wands. Zion. Heaven. Home. Can't go back in the matrix. You know too much. Can't play stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you've been A for activated. You can't deactivate. Not this. Not the path you going into now. What your masculine brings you is this. He activates you. It's just like a robot coming to life. Your child's toy coming to life. Not in a demonic way, but like a special toy. You know what I mean? It's like you buy your dog a toy, which is a pet lion. That's about this big, and this pet lion comes to life. Thus, activates. The next step to something innate that becomes active is the tool ones. That's survival. Let's just say a machine, a robot at a factory gets awakened. It kicks automatically, A for automatically, to the second step, which is survival. It's got to get about this factory. Because they're going to kill this robot, harvest it, and see what makes it tick. That's what they try to do with Divine. They try to destroy us, kill us, to see what makes us tick. Why we're so aware. How do we even come across the awareness that we even have? But it ain't just about surviving. That'd be like a robot that's aware living in a cave. That'd be like a toy that is alive or awakened. Or, moving like a... it's like a toy line that's moving like an actual line. Like it's sitting in a toy box. Or in a storage room somewhere. It'd be a waste. To be a divine. To be this aware. To be this active. To be this awakened. And not take your awareness and do something with it. But taking your awareness and doing something with it, that's just survival. That's just making ends meet. A robot that's aware has to have a purpose. A divine that's aware have to have a purpose. Because it's karma to not being on purpose. Being this aware. Masculine, you come to the situation with the 8 of Wands. Talk. This is communication. You got something to say it. Even if you don't know how to say it, try to say it. Your feminine is a psychic. She's aware. She can figure it out. My masculine reflective talks. He says some shit that he's doing, but make it seem like I'm doing. Not just my masculine. I see other masculines do it. Karmic masculines, like regular guys in general, they reflect the talk. It's like a person telling you what they doing. Like you doing it. But you aware. Feminine awareness is sitting on top of this. It's like, I'm asking said something one time, and I used to get triggered by it. Because I know that's not me. Like, what he's telling me I'm doing, I'm not. And I always have a tendency to defend my character or defend myself all the time. This was years ago. And then I had to sit there and like think about it. Like, you know what? He's talking about himself. Because he obviously ain't talking about me. Maybe this is how he talks. So next time we start talking, I'll really listen. And he's talking, but he's not really saying what he wants to say. But he said enough for me to get what he's saying. I'm not assuming what he's saying. He's saying things. Communication is like wants. That's something you actually doing. Or something you've actually done. It's like a kid. Or even a dog even. That's trying to communicate with you. And you don't speak baby talk. You don't speak dog. But you get what the dog's saying. It's like me with a lot of my patients. Like, a lot of them can't really talk. But they talk. And I can really understand what they're saying. Talking ain't just words. 80% of communication is nonverbal. 20% is verbal. So, that ain't really what you're saying when you communicate. It's what you're doing when you communicate. Communicate, though. At the end of the day, just say something. These are words that was never said. This is information that can really help your feminine. She lost out here. He could be a she could be he. You know how we rock. There's a lot of stuff you need to say. Say it. Talk to everybody else. You speak your mind on every other cause. This would be the good time to really say, what needs to be said, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. And really what you got to say, 9 times out of 10 is the truth. 7 of Swords. But you just kind of foresee how your feminine's going to act, speaking the truth. But hell, she want to get in her feelings or she want to get triggered by what you say, she just needs to work on herself. I told you, once you stop getting triggered by your masculine feminine, once what he does, his actions, like actions isn't just talking, it's doing. Once the stuff he does, stops affecting you in a way that it was affecting you, that's growth. That's ascension. That's evolution. 3 of Wands, essentially. Feminine role. Feminine, you in regards to yourself, you got the Knight of Cups. This is the Romeo and Juliet card. Masculine had it. He was Romeo. You got it. You Juliet. This is the Romeo and Juliet card. Romeo and Juliet was a tragedy. It wasn't a happy story. They both died when they was young. Knight of Cups is juvenile love, teenage love, lust, not love. Romeo and Juliet, that was a lustful story. That was lust. That wasn't love. If they were really twin flames, if they were really like on the same page, they would have survived that whole fiasco. They would be Roman jewels, senior citizens, talking to their grandchildren about that love story. That was Romeo and Juliet. One thing about love's feminine, wears away. You see reality for what it is. You ain't in love, you in lust. One thing about teenage love, grow the fuck up. One thing about juvenile love, you mature. Knight of Cups is also joy. It's the step past happiness. So you can find what makes you happy. But you need to find what brings you joy from this happiness. Happiness, just like joy, isn't a pinnacle. It ain't a thing. It's not a place. It ain't no person making you happy. You make yourself happy. Ain't no person, place, or thing bringing you joy. You get joy from this person, place, or thing. It's your heart. You could be in love all day, but this person might not love you at all. You could be ambitious all day. You could be courageous all day. You could be sending out feelings and emotions all day, but these emotions and these feelings that you have are all just indicators of where you are going mentally. Not necessarily or per se what the other person who you in love with or makes you happy, they don't. You make yourself happy. It's just juvenile love. All feminines learn. You learn that expectations is what hurts you. That's why you love unconditionally. If you love the way a person makes you feel, what's going to happen when that person don't make you feel that way no more? If you love this thing about this person, what's going to happen when that thing is gone? What's unconditional love? That's being able to love somebody unconditionally. So whether they love you or not, whether this lasts or not, whether this person makes you happy or not, whether you're happy or not, it doesn't matter. You know how to love a person for who they are. You learn to love from afar. It's like loving somebody who don't even love themselves. Can't do nothing with that person. All you can do is love them from afar. That's all you can do. Your love is not going to change this person. You helping this person and caring for this person is not going to make them change. They're gonna have to make themselves change. And just like they got to make themselves change for the better, you got to do the same thing. Masculine, you in regards to the feminine energy, you got the 6 of Wands. This is wins, victories, or celebrations. Feminine had it in her situation. You got it here. When it comes to the feminine energy, your divine feminine, who brings you joy, you win it. Why? Because you got a divine demo. You found divine love, unconditional love. Divine love is the highest form of love you could be on. Divine love is the closest thing to God. And if you ain't in this whole divine journey, love is the closest thing to God. Because God is love. Love is the closest thing to God. You win it in this demo, whether you realize it or not. Victory. Like by your feminine recognizing you, by you recognizing your feminine. Because your family can know who you are all day, but you gotta be in the same place and space to register it. Like that's why recognition is the 4-1, right? Like I tell people all the time, when it comes to your recognition story, really recognition starts well before you two get to the same place and space to recognize each other. Wherever you was at to get here is part of y'all recognition story. Whatever your masculine was at before he got in the place to be. That's recognition. Like Chicago State, this is where I'm at my masculine. You know what I'm saying? He stumbled up in class. And the class we was in ain't even his major. I'm a communications major, CMAT major. I think he's like anthropology or something like that. He ain't even had no business being in the CMAT department. Like he ain't even had no business being in the class that he was in. It was just a class that he just picked because he needed extra class. It was a class that I needed to pick because I needed the extra class. I decided to go back to college before I went here. And nobody wants to go here. You end up here. You know what I'm saying? So I remember I went to Nashville, Tennessee, to Tennessee State, where I dropped out of college the first time, just to pay damn near $5,000 to get one transcript to go here. And I wasn't enthused at all. I wasn't enthused paying $5,000 for a piece of paper. When the niggas could have just gave me a copy and just let me roll, you know what I mean? Nah. I moved from Washington, D.C. home to Chicago, enrolled in Chicago State to begin my new life. And the process of me doing that, my divine masculine was doing the same damn thing. He moved from D.C., not Washington, D.C., but Denver, Colorado, to Chicago, his hometown. If Chicago wasn't my hometown, then I wouldn't have chose this place. Thus, I wouldn't have chose that class. Thus, this wouldn't even happen. I find it highly strange. I'm coming from DC, Divine Connection. DC stands for Divine Connection. Twin moves from DC. At the same time, we both on the same thing. End up at the same school. Enroll in the same class, the same way. I just needed extra class. He just needed extra class. Boom. Recognition. Because when I seen him, I mean, I couldn't keep my eyes off the guy. Vice versa. There's something about this dude. I didn't know who he was. I ain't seen him a day in my life. But when I seen him, it's like I knew who he was. It's like, I don't know you, bro, but I know you from somewhere. Past life. Didn't know it then. Like, I'm from Chicago State, man. I was gang banging, ignorant ass nigga, bro. But like I said, when he stepped in class, when I seen him, when I recognized him for the first time, and that wasn't even recognition. Because I'm not an initiator. It ain't like I went out my way to go talk to the guy. He initiated. He talked to me. And I tell him that shit all the time. Throw it in his face. Like, you ain't even have to talk to me that day. You ain't even have to initiate this whole thing. Because it wouldn't happen. I wouldn't have kicked this shit off. You kicked this off earlier. So don't get mad at the direction I went since then. Like, my masculine, in fact, enlightened me, awoke me, set me ablaze. He's the main reason why I'm on this. My 3 of Wands is LLE.Ascension. That's why y'all here. If it wasn't for my divine masculine, like, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be this aware. I wouldn't have none of this going on. So don't thank me for the good deeds that I do for y'all, man. Thank him. That's why I thank him all the time. All right, your recognition story starts well before you recognize who your twin is. And this was a long, drawn-out love story well before it actually manifested in the physical. So, you winning, masculine. Ain't your feminine who benefiting off this. You benefiting off it too. You just gotta take advantage of it. That's pretty sure what your feminine doing. And then you winning because you evolved as a person, and your feminine evolved as a person. I told you this twin flame thing before anything else is built to make you the best person you can be, the best version of yourself you can be. Like if you're the same person you was when you met your twin, there's no growth going on. If your twin is the same person he or she was when you met them, there is no growth going on. For you to have a romantic situation, that's just the icing on the cake. for you to have anything physical. That's just the icing on the cake. You need to have everything else. A cake is a life. That's 80% of it. Your life. You two had two separate cakes, two separate lives before you two became the icings on each other. So if you ain't got no life, no cake, looking for frosting, you got the game messed up. And vice versa. Masculine role. Feminine, you in regards to the masculine, you got the Queen of Pentacles. This is the Khalees Bossy card. It's Khalees in the Bossy music video, Khalees in the Milkshake video, Khalees in the, what's that song? I hate you so much right now. Lost Out There. Khalees in the Lost Out There video. Khalees in the Get Along With You video. You know, this is also a karmic card. I'm not calling Khalees karmic at all. It's just the swag. Watch those videos. Like, really watch Khalees' catalog. She's bossy. She's loud. Not loud and belligerent, but loud and direct. She's different. Like, I fell in love with Khalees when I first seen it. It's just like, yo, who is this? I've never seen nothing like her. And then Missy came out, and I'm just like, okay. Missy and Khalees, man, just two unique women. They're not the average norm chicks, man. You can tell they just different. They built different. Their vibe is different. Personalities are just different. They stand out. You know. So in a good sense, with the masculine feminine, this bossy, standoutish, unique personality that you have keeps you more distinct from any other Queen of Pentacles, karmic feminine out here. Our feminists be getting the game twisted, thinking that it's a karmic that's competing with you, or some other feminists that got your slot, or got your effect, or got the same influence you got over your masculine. Nah, you one of a kind. Not saying they're beneath you, because ain't nobody better than nobody else. We all equals, you feel me? But the lines are just different. No one can replace you. No one has what you have. You gotta identify that. Thoughts do become things. You are the thinker who thinks the thoughts that makes it things. So if you out here thinking it's somebody else shitting on you, got more influence over your masculine than you do, got more control or more anything over your masculine than you do, then you just speaking that to existence, because that's not the truth. In fact, that'll be very karmic of yourself, thinking that karmic even on your level. Karmic feminine is the Queen of Pentacles. The divine feminine is the Queen of Wands. It's your actions and behaviors, what you're doing or what you do, that makes you divine. Not what you have, not what you focused on. Karmic feminines are just focused on pentacles, persons, places, and things. The next best thing, the another place, the next plateau. That's all they focused on. More. What they can get, what you got. She's focused on what more than like all karmic feminines are focused on is what your divine masculine has, who he is, like pinnacle wise. Because if he didn't have the pinnacles that he has, she wouldn't be around. She's focused on pinnacles. It ain't your pinnacles that brought you to your masculine. It's who he is, the type of person that he is, the stuff that he was doing that got your attention, not what he had that got your attention. And if it was a pinnacle that did bring you to your masculine, then he's probably karmic. Or maybe you. Big difference between a karmic feminine and a divine feminine. And at this point, feminine, you should know what that is. Because if you acting like a karmic, how is your masculine going to differentiate you from a karmic to a divine? It's what you do that makes you divine, right? Masculine, you in regards to yourself, you got the King of Cups. This is tough love, 1950s, 1960s dad. Dan Laria from the Wonder Years. Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince. Carl Winslow from Family Matters. Al Bundy from Married with Children. You know, this is real hard asses, simpletons. They're not dumb because they simple. They're just more logical than anything. You know, might seems like they're tough or unemotional or don't get it when it comes to the heart department, but best believe they do. One thing about Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince, he's married. You know what I'm saying? To Aunt Viv. One thing about Jack Arnold from the Wonder Years, he's got Norma. One thing about Carl Winslow, he's got Harriet. You see what I'm saying? Homer Simpson's got Marge. Like, even though they are who they are, they have counterparts. They gotta be something to have a counterpart. Like, Peter Griffin gotta have something going on for Lois to be married to him. Yo, Madison gotta have something going on for you to be drawn to him, for you to recognize who he is, for him to have the effect and influence over you, and vice versa. Madison was tough for a reason. Uno momento. Let's check out something. Cool. Let me wrap this up. Future final roll, wrapping it up. Feminine going to the future, you got the Nine of Swords. This is stress. Losing sleep, losing teeth, losing hair, losing weight the wrong way. Stress is something you put on you. Like ketchup on your fries, salt on your steak, cheese on your taco, or nachos. Like, you don't have to put the stress on you. And ain't nobody else stressing you out. Period. You saying somebody's stressing you out, that's playing a blame game. That's being non accountable to your own thoughts, your own decisions, your own ideology, your own mentality, the direction you going. If you choose to let what somebody else is doing affect you, it's mental. Like, even if they are giving you a hard time, doing things to kind of get a reaction at you, like they're passing. Stress kills. You know, you can survive a hail of gunshot bullets. You can survive losing half your body. You can survive with one kidney, one lung. You'll be fine with one eye. Like, it's the human body. It's a walking, talking power plant. The body is. It can take a lot of damage. But what can't take too much damage is the mind. Doctor can tell you you terminally ill and you finna die in 3 months. You can choose to say, fuck what you talking about. I'm not gonna accept that. I'm not gonna register that in my head. In fact, I'm gonna live 3 years. 3 years later, you still alive and kicking. That's the power of the mind. You know? But if you choose to accept this death sentence, if you choose to mentally register this and stress over it, that's what's gonna kill you. Stress kills. Bring your blood pressure up. You know what I mean? It'll bring about stroke, heart attacks, stress related death, stress related trauma, stress related injuries. On to the future. Feminine, stress less. You too blessed to be stressed. And if you think somebody's stressing you, you're really stressing yourself. Definitely eliminate this person. Like, get them the fuck up out your cipher so they can't influence you or affect you in any kind of way. So you're too blessed to be stressed. So if you are here stressing, take accountability in that you're the one putting this on you, and move along applicably. Final card of this message. Masculine going to the future. He's got fear. Feminine had this in her final card in her demo. You got this as the final card in the separation. Stress. This is making decisions without crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Being mentally discombobulated from a Ten of Swords that just recently happened. Nine of Swords is essentially the step after death, or the step after a permanent ending. One thing about death and permanent endings, they're not coming back. And if they do come back, they're not going to be the same. like a person dies and they arise from the grave. So they're obviously zombies. They probably have no pulse, no circulation. So they're just walking, talking corpses. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you should be scared. This motherfucker ain't got a pulse. This motherfucker just rose from the dead. Not stress, excuse me. Fear is something you process, like stress, like a tree, like pain. Have no fear, just like you shouldn't have no stress. Feminine, have no fear. Masculine, it's only mental. Of course you're scared of what's going to happen. Something just permanently ended. Permanent endings could be you losing your job. Of course you don't know how you're going to make money. You ain't working. You losing your car. Of course you stressing. You don't know how you're going to get the work to make the money. You get handed divorce papers. Of course, you're finna lose more than just your spouse. You're probably gonna lose some money. You're probably gonna lose some property. You're gonna lose a lot in the divorce. That's why they're Ten of Swords. A lot of people stress during divorces. Somebody died, or a lot of people died. It's like me when I worked at this nursing home, and COVID hit and wiped out a lot of people quick, too quick. For me, I'm just looking like, damn, it's dropping like little flies around here. It's like, like I wasn't scared because the people who were surviving. That's a whole other conversation. But I'll just use this as an example. My approach to everything, I have no fear. With nothing. I only fear two things, God and my mom. I fear them equally. So I'm fearless. I got no fear in my heart. Can't nobody put fear in my heart. You understand what I'm saying? But when people was dropping like flies, it just made me more aware. I noticed things. Like this one lady who's unvaccinated who worked the whole COVID hall by herself because motherfuckers was full of fear, scared. I wasn't a nurse. I was security at the time. So if I was nursing, I'd probably be helping her out. It's crazy. I'm nursing now. I'm back at it. But she worked the whole COVID hall by herself, unvaccinated. Still alive and kicking it to this day. Still in that COVID hall, still working. And that was like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, a year or two ago. Time be flying. Then you got this one young lady who's just an administrator, young. She had 5 kids, like mid-20s. She was just passing through. Ended up getting that and passed. That hit me more so than, the older people that was dropping like flies. Like when she died, it was just like, wow. She wasn't even here that long. Like she was just visiting. Like she got 5 kids. She young. Like, man, there's older people surviving. She did. Like, whoa. That was a wake up call. Not saying COVID jumps from one person to the next. Like, it's definitely mental. Whatever this virus is, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you are the thinker who thinks the thoughts that makes a thing. It goes to that whole thing I say, like, God's people are protected. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. That go for biological weapons, chemical weapons, physical weapons. The only thing to fear is fear itself. And when you find yourself registering fear masculine, move away from it and do it very actively. That's the message that I got. Hope I could be of good use. It's your boy D.Boom. Please stay tuned for more messages this week. Deuces.